Welcome back to the Holy Hot Honey Hour, where we get into the sauce with the people who make food culture what it is. I'm your host, Matthew Zeiss, along with Garrett Klein, and our very special guest up from the underground, Mike Esposito. Welcome to the Hive, dude.
What's going on, boys and girls? How you doing? All right?
Very
we
good.
are
Thank
doing
you.
all right, man.
All right.
Said I've been told so many people about your pizza being my number one because it's like you and DeFara's
Thank you.
are just, I mean, you know, I had DeFara's, I don't know, a few months before I had yours, and it was like, I didn't think it could get much better, but I mean, just you could taste the love that goes into your pizza, for
Well,
sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And you know what? That's the secret ingredient that nobody realizes is love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're actually cooking with love, right? When you're cooking with love, the end product's going to be really, really good. So just let
100%.
everybody know that.
We just had a very similar conversation with Augie Russo of Tiny Kitchen, who basically,
My man Augie.
you know,
Oh,
yeah, dude,
He's a good dude.
great
He was
dude,
actually
man.
making pizza with you, Garrett, that day you were at Scott Wiener's event. He was there that day.
Super nice guy, but he basically said the same thing about love in the pizza, but the way he said it was so much, you know, like for him, he needs to have the right music playing, the right stuff, because it gets him into the right, you know, in the right mood and the right energy, and that energy and love goes into that pie.
Absolutely, 100%. He's 100% right. You know how many times I'm working over here, and of course I work better with music. And I have a couple of, Gen Zers, I guess, working here,
Yeah.
you know, and they put their music on. They put their
Probably
music on.
It probably
and I'm
drives
just-
you crazy.
Yeah, I tell them, guys, just shut that noise off. Shut that noise off. Put on some Little Susie, Coro, all those freestyle music that I used to listen to back in the day. And yeah, you got to be in the right state of mind, right kind of music to perform the right way.
You got to set
To
the
perform
mood,
the
man.
right way. You got to set
Exactly.
the mood, bro.
Yeah, double entendre fully.
Every situation's got a certain music you got to set the mood to, right? Barry
Yeah.
White, we're going in the oven, bro.
It'll be bacon, though.
I
So
know.
my first question is, and now, I mean, some of these you told us in person, but now when this gets put out, just so everybody can know. So underground, the term underground suggests secrecy, but your pizzas have a super strong cult following, and now the following is just so large. What was the moment you realized that it was underground, but really the identity was way more public than that?
Well, Mike's Pizza back in the day in Amity when my father started in 1999. So we were in the neighborhood for a long, long time before he passed away in 2004. So the pizzeria itself was kind of like iconic. And he watched kids grow up to have their kids have their kids, their kids have their kids. So it's multiple generations here in Amityville, multiple generations. So it was a real loss to the neighborhood when we decided to, close down when the old man passed away. Well, we didn't actually decide to close down. I sold to a kid that was working there, and he didn't do the right thing, and things got messed up,
Okay.
and the place went out. So I knew I couldn't let my father's legacy go down like that. And the reason why I went down like that, because I already had the steakhouse. I was already doing my thing. I didn't have time to go over there as much as I wanted to. So I had some family members come through there, and it just never stuck. My old man, he was the face, he was the aura, he was the soul of the place, Yeah, us kids, everything, we worked there our whole lives, but he was the man. That was his place, And when it went down like that, I was just I couldn't do it. I couldn't let his legacy go down like that.
And what year was this?
Well, 2004 that's when he passed away, and about maybe 3 to 4 years later, that's when we decided to sell to the gentleman that was working there, and that was it. So, and the place shut down, and it was gone. I couldn't let that happen. I didn't know how Mike's Pizza was going to come back, because to be honest with you, I've been doing this my whole life, and if I was going to do a pizzeria, I just didn't want to do slices. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to do slices. It's just a whole counter space that, after lunch, now that you just have this counter space there, And it just makes more sense if you just open up a pizzeria and have like a, bar, and just make it like that. You just got to do it differently, Slices, there's places for slices, there's rooms for slices, but just not with me. Let somebody else do it. I wanted to craft the whole pie, instead of something. So I didn't know which form was going to come in, and this whole underground thing just kind of happened. I opened up another restaurant called Vero's before the pizzeria, and it just it was doing well, but I had a fire. I had a fire, and I lost everything. I
Was
lost
that also in
everything.
Amityville?
Yeah, it was a couple of
Yeah, I
stores
remember
down,
it. I remember it.
and it just and I did everything right. I did everything right. I got up to the point where the Newsday local paper came in and gave us 3.5 stars. We were doing great. To get 3.5 stars from the local paper Newsday was,
Mhm.
very difficult to do.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if they still do that, to be honest with you, with the internet and
I'm
everybody
not sure. I don't
else.
think they have any of that up
No,
anymore.
5 star. So we got 3.5 stars and we were rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling. We're doing great. And then I had this fire, which was more smoke damage than anything else. And all right, let's call the insurance company. And at that point, all these years you pay into insurance, the moment you really need them, they become your enemy.
Yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
become your enemy.
Yeah, the pizzeria that I was working at, there was a fire next door, and the pizzeria got a bunch of smoke damage, so they had to close. And it took him, I don't even know. He was lucky enough to even open, because the place that went on fire, they never even opened again.
They never open
And
again.
yeah, and it took him like 7, 8 months, maybe even it could even have been more. And like I remember we had to go and throw out everything, and he was fighting with the insurance company. I can only imagine. And like he was lucky enough to be open, but yeah, the place that it actually got set on fire. Somebody set a stupid kid set it on fire. They arrested the kid eventually, but yeah,
Naturally.
it's terrible that I saw what he went through, so I can only imagine like how you guys were
What
like
started your
fighting.
fire, Mike? Can you say?
Well, yeah, well, in the kitchen. I told the contractor at that time, I was like, in this wall right over here, I need plywood because I'm going to be hanging some shelves there, and the shelves will be holding some weight. So I came into work, and the whole kitchen is what do you call it? Plywood.
Okay.
So I walked in. I was like, he's like, Mike, now you can hang up everything. He's like, don't worry about it. This is fire retardants.
Sure.
All the local officials, all the fire marshals, check. Yep, no problem. Check, 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 and check. So now it's about 6 months into business, not even, maybe 4 months into, about 6 months, 4 months, 4 or 5 months into business, right? So the stove was up against the wall, and we used to cook big pots of stock. And when you put a pot on top of a stove, the fire underneath spreads, right? Underneath the pot. So you just had this flame just kindly, gently lapping at the stainless steel wall. Behind the stainless steel wall was the fire retardant plywood. Well, over the course of time, heated up that plywood, and the plywood started smoldering and just burning. And I remember going into the restaurant and always smelling like somebody's burning toothpicks. It was kind of faint. Every once in a while, you got a sniff of it. And then I guess just one day, they just caught on to the point where now there's smoke billowing in the building. Don't know where the fire is coming from. Fire department comes, rips open the roof, gave it oxygen. The fire started coming out. They put it out right away, which wasn't minor, but it was really the smoke damage that came in and took everything apart, everything down because of the smoke damage.
Yeah.
And at that point, it took about a year and a half to rebuild.
Damn.
I mean, to rebuild. I mean, that's how long it took for the insurance company to give me the money. Still to this day, I really feel like I blame the insurance company for me losing everything, because when I reopened, all that goodwill, everything was gone.
Yeah.
It was gone at that time, and I made some employee changes also at the same time. So when I opened up, it was never the same again. No matter what I did to bring people in there, it was just the mystique. Everything was just
Mhm.
gone. So I had a fire sale, and I sold everything, the whole kit and caboodle, for pennies on the dollar. I lost millions of dollars.
Shit, man.
And I looked at my wife, Christy, and I'm just like, I did everything the right way. The first restaurant I opened up, Vittorio's Italian Steakhouse, I just winged it. This, I did everything the way you're supposed to do. I got a cocktail chef. He came up with a customized cocktail menu. I got this, I got that. We did training with this. We did everything nice. And it all went up in flames, literally. And I looked at Christy. I'm like, why did this happen to me? I don't understand what this happened to me, but I'm going to find out why this happened to me, because what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
So not long afterwards, I mean, just not really that long, maybe even a month, for some reason, I just got this urge to start making pizza again. I never really stopped, but I was like, so I focused that attention on bread. So I started buying a lot of these bread books, and I started making bread. The bread started coming out nice. I'm like, wow. And then it just hit me. I was like, wait a minute, why don't I incorporate some of these recipes in the bread dough? And, blah, blah, blah. So I spent a couple of months doing that. And I was like, wow, this came out great, you know?
That's awesome.
So, and then that's when I realized my father set that building on fire. He set that building on fire. He said, Mike, this is going to fucking hurt. It's going to hurt, but you don't fucking belong here. You need to go in the fucking pizzeria. So I spent millions at that place. And this pizzeria took me $5, literally $5 to put together. And here I am sitting down with you guys talking. All right.
Man.
I mean, this place brought me to places that I never thought I was going to go to. People start, it was just incredible the amount of beautiful, wonderful people that I've met through the pizza game. It's truly, truly incredible. And my father did it. He did it. He's like, that's not your fucking path. That's not your path. This is where you belong. So he put me back on this path because, to be honest with you, I grew up in a pizzeria at 12 years old. It wasn't something that, I voluntarily did. I'll go to work. I wanted to hang out. I wanted to play, right? But my parents were off the boat, and their mentality was, all right, you're 12 years old. You're a man. You got to go. No more playing around. So that's what I did. 10 years old, I already knew how to make a pizza. You're 12 years old. Now I'm in there. So now I learned how to make a pizza. Now I'm needed. Now I learned how to do this. Now I'm needed on that. Next thing you know, I need Mike. Where's Mike? My father used to come to school, junior high, started in junior high. He used to come in junior high. Michael Esposito, please come down to the principal's office. I'm like, oh, shit, what the frick did I do? I would go down there and my father would be there. I'm like, what's up? He's like, Charlie's not coming in today. I need your help for lunch.
That's amazing.
That went all the way up to high school. Yeah, that went all the way up to high school. And we were close to my school. So I went to school in Copiague. Amityville's next town over.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I went to work. And who would come in for lunch? My teachers. Mike, what the hell are you doing over here? You're supposed to be in school. My father would be on the other side, getting whatever. He'd be yelling at the teachers like, he learns more over here than he does in his school. That's what he used to yell at the teacher, So I got education on both sides.
That's awesome.
By the age 15, my parents had to go to Italy for a couple of months to take care of whatever they had to take care of. They brought all the kids. And at 15 years old, I'm at home and running the pizzeria by myself.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's a movie right there, man.
Yeah, but that's how we were back in, in the 70s. They just raised us as little men and little women.
Mm-hmm.
They never really treated us like babies. They didn't talk to us like babies. So we just grew. We just mentally grew.
Yeah.
So back in school, all my friends were 4 to 5 years older than me. I hardly had any friends in school. I mean, I knew people, but I always hung out with the older crowd because the kids my age, I didn't think like that because now I'm a little bit more advanced and thinking. I'm like, yeah, no, that's stupid. A lot of my friends were older people. But now, fast forward, I'm 54 years old now. All my friends are younger than me now. Weird. So a lot of them are mentoring. A lot of them are learning from me, teaching. And it's my pleasure because I just love it. That's how I got here. So I like to not so much educate people, but this is what I'm doing. Share. This is what you should do. Start off like this. Keep doing it like this, and as you go along, you'll feel something. You're like, what if I do like this? And then it's up to you to take away from it or add to it or do whatever you want with it. But you always start off with the base. So I always show them the base. Here you go. Here's the base. Then from there, you can do what you got to do.
No.
It's the only right thing to do. Listen, we're all in the pizzeria game, this pizzeria biz, because of one dude. Back in the 1800s, his name was Vittorio Esposito. Could you imagine if he trademarked that pizza back then? None of us would be here.
True.
So pretty much it was like a computer thing. It's like an open system where people go in there and add to it or take away to make the software a lot better. That's what he did. He left us this beautiful, beautiful thing to, subtract or add to it and make it better than what it is. And here we are. Pizza could stop wars. war. It's the same time you can start wars, right?
Yeah.
But pizzas, everybody around the world, you say pizza, and everybody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Born from fire and sweetness, forged in flavor, fresh chilies, raw honey, real warmth, aged to perfection, balanced by nature, smooth, rich, and just enough heat to keep it holy. Holy Hot Honey, divinely sweet, sinfully spicy.
Who doesn't love pizza?
And I think that's part of why the pizzeria. I tell the story. Matt's heard it 100 times, but when I met Paulie G, I said, it's an honor to meet somebody in the industry, and he stopped me and he's like, it's community, and I think it's a community so much because of all the joy and happiness that people that when they eat it, and it brings everybody together from all over the place. Like you said, everybody knows pizza. They know the smell. They know what it looks like. They can identify it instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why everybody in the community is so open and willing to share, because it's such a commodity, a beloved household thing, So it's like, why gatekeep? Why be nasty with something that brings so much happiness?
Right, exactly. And the pizza started off as something that was affordable and cheap, right? To feed your whole family, 8 slices, and it didn't cost that much. But now things are so expensive.
Yeah, of course.
Some people sell it for $19, $20, $21, which is still not the right price. It should be like $25 because the expense of the cheese and everything is and the labor. The labor, it's so expensive, but we can never sell that cheese pie more than what it's worth.
No.
The reason why is because people look at it as sustenance to feed their whole family. Now, if you leave New York and go to any other freaking state outside of New York except Jersey, and you order a cheese pie, it's like $30.
No
And
shit.
people spend it like no problem. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
In New York, you can't do that. New York, the cheese pie has become like a lead item. It's just, something, it's a lead item. You got to try to sell garlic knots and whatever else if you want to make that money back.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a staple.
Right. It's a staple. Exactly. So,
Yeah, you can't think New York without thinking pizza. To me, it's as synonymous with New York as it is with Italy, for
right,
sure.
Exactly. You have the Neapolitan pizza,
Yeah.
and then you have the New York pizza.
Absolutely.
Right? Those were the two whatevers. Then came the Detroits and then so on and so forth or whatnot, what have you, even the Sicilian pie. But yeah, that's the thing. And the only difference I think, is the cheese. And in Italy, they never ever put oregano on a pizza. But somehow oregano ended up on American New York pizza. Now, I enjoy oregano. I enjoy oregano. I like oregano on a pizza, but you'll never find it in Italy. No, it's only over here. But I know a lot of spots in New York that don't use oregano because they say, well, the original Lombardies never used oregano, so we're making it the true New York style. All right.
Well,
all right. Okay. All right. Whoa. But so when I make a pizza, and I put the oregano on, right? I call it the flavor of New York. Now we're gonna add a little New York flavor on. Then that's what I call the oregano, New York flavor.
Gotcha.
I need the oregano. To me, it adds to it.
I wanted to circle back to the initial question though, because Mike's Underground the underground thing really kind of popped during like a little bit before COVID, but definitely during COVID. It was the huge, then it just that's when I personally was seeing it everywhere online. And now, it was this secret hush hush kind of vibe, which was the allure and worked. But at some point, that allure, it wasn't any hush hush anymore. It was very much screaming from the mountaintops, you got to try this pizza. Like there had to be a moment where you realized, oh shit, like, okay, I mean, like how do you keep up the gimmick with still understanding how popular you are?
Yeah, no, I know it's one of those things. I think a lot of people now, kind of know, and a lot of people probably don't want to know because they like the whole thing. But even the people that kind of do know, they pretend like they don't know because they like the whole the whole thing, And I still get a tremendous amount of new fans every day. I still get new fans. They're like, wow, this is so cool, you know?
Yeah, man.
Which it is cool. But sooner or later you have to go above ground if you really want to reach the masses, right?
Yeah.
You should put that on a shirt, dude.
But you still want to keep the mystique, right? But I don't know what's better, being underground and trying to get more fans, or going above ground, open up a door and start paying some bills.
For
No,
sure.
but I think that it adds to the mystique that there is no actual storefront for anybody to go.
Definitely.
So people that know, and you have that sign that says, if you know, you know, and it's true. So people that know where like the secret, underground layer is, quote unquote, and it's like, oh shit, they're a part of they feel like they're a part of that mystique because they're like, I know something you don't know. It's like one of those like, I know the secret almost, and then they're like, embodied to hide that secret, and then like it also adds to the mystique because it's like they meet you, well, not you, but they meet your driver
Right.
in a discreet location. So it almost adds to that, like, I'm going to get like like an underground, like a 007 mission from
Right.
somebody. And he shows up and he's got his suit and tie and he's well presented and he's like, I have your pizza. And it's like this like instant, like, holy shit, this is like it's like a scavenger hunt almost, because you
Yeah,
send
pretty
a
much.
text and that whole thing, it's amazing because people love that. They
They
love
do.
that whole, it adds to it because it's like, it's not just whatever. I have a brick and mortar normal spot where people come and they show up like a normal pizzeria, but that whole like, mystique of, I'm going on a scavenger hunt. I'm going to get mics. And then not only do they go on that scavenger hunt to get mics, they open up their box and like, holy shit, this fucking pie looks amazing.
I mean,
And
it's
then
a
they bite into
great
it and they're
pie,
like,
dude.
holy shit,
Yeah.
there's
Thank you.
amazing pizza, there's amazing look, and then this feel of like a scavenger hunt, like when you're in 12th grade doing the senior scavenger hunt in high school. That whole thing, I think that adds to it. The text
Have you ever
message.
delivered a pie yourself?
Actually, I have.
That'd be like the golden ticket. This should be
Right?
the
Yeah.
it should be like the golden
Yeah.
ticket.
I mean, this one person really, really wanted to meet me, and I just surprised her making the delivery, and I made her day.
Nice.
Cool.
Took a couple of pictures or whatever, and it was nice. It's a nice feeling, it's a nice feeling. And yeah, I mean, if you didn't have the product, I wouldn't have this, So
That's a big part
a
of
lot
100%.
of love goes in that product. Yeah, I don't know if you guys realize. I mean, I didn't open up as Mike's Underground. I didn't do that. It was supposed to just be like a just regular delivery. But when I first started, it was me and my wife, Christy, right? And I'm like, all right, let's we already sent a couple of pies out to friends, so now people are hearing about us a little bit. I was like, all right, let's do this. So, and I put my wife there. I started making, pizzas, and now we just wait. We got an order. We got our first order. I was like, oh, we got an order. All right. So made it really nice and everything else. I'm like, fuck, who's going to deliver it? I opened up a delivery place. I had no delivery drivers. Man. So I was like, all right, you know what? I was like, grab one of the bus boys in the dining room. The bus boys are dressed in a suit. So when I gave him the pie and went to deliver it, the lady went online. I forgot Instagram, Facebook, whatever it was. And she was like, oh my God, I just got the underground pizza. And the guy came here and delivered in a suit. It was awesome. And all the comments, what suit? Oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, all right, got to keep the suit. That's the thing I got to do, And then, as I'm going, I still didn't call myself the Underground. And somebody says, well, how come, where's this place, Mike's? Where can I get it? I hear everybody talking about it, but nobody's telling me where it is. And this one dude says, Mike's is like the fight club, the underground fight club. If you know, you know, or if you don't talk about the fight club or whatever. And I was like, that's it. Mike's Underground. Mike's Underground, the guy in the suit. So basically, I'm open for business, but the people are actually, giving me the name and building the place for me. So I'm taking all those stuff and I put it together. Next thing you know, I'm Mike's Underground. I'm delivering in suits and the whole 9 yards.
The suits is great. I mean, because here's the fun thing about such a great shtick is that you couldn't have thought of that shtick. You know what I mean? Like that just, it had to naturally happen. There would have been no planning that.
Yeah. I feel like, like exactly. I feel like if you woke up and you're like, I'm going to start a pizzeria and I'm going to make this guy go in suits, they'd be like, what's this pretentious dude about? But because it was so naturally organic and it was just like, I'm in a pinch. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna fucking do it. And it was just,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
tha and
It's awesome.
that's my father again. That was my father. And that's how I see it.
Yeah. Just beautiful, man. It's a
I mean,
beautiful thing.
yeah, I just challenge, it's one of those things. See, listen, the old school Italians or the old school people, whatever, they're really tough. They never really showed emotions, That really gave me a pat on the back. That was a great job. My father was little, Dad, what do you think? So it was never like, son. But I
Yeah,
get
of
it.
course.
I understand. Still
That's
to
that
this
generation.
day, that's that generation. Yeah, but I knew I knew the love was there. I knew
For
everything was
sure.
there. But I always was looking for that pat on the back. I
Mhm.
was always looking, Mike, that's a great job. Wow. So to this day, when I do something all the time, in my mind, I'm doing it for my father to get that pat on the back. Still to this day, I'm still trying to show off and do my thing to make so my father can see how good of a job I did. So that pushes me in a way. I don't know if it sounds weird or not, but I'm still
No,
always
no.
looking for
Not
that
at
pat on
all.
the back. So
No, it
so
sounds
whatever
completely regular.
all these ideas that came into my mind, it was him putting it in there. This is what you got to do. So here I am. So now I'm just considering about, expanding and taking to the next steps. That's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to keep this type of layout, but I'll go because our delivery zone is 5 miles, 5 miles out. So we deliver 5 miles radius. That's what we deliver. So if I open up another place where the 5 miles kind of like touch each other,
And you can
so
get
that's
10 mile, you get a nice
right,
10-mile radius.
right. So that's what I want to do. I want to go every kind of like 10 miles, so like that the 5 miles kind of meet each other.
Mhm.
And it's a lot
Last time we were
easier.
there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's a lot easier, a lot more affordable to do something like this as opposed to throwing all this money into an empty storefront that you
Mhm.
cross your fingers, But you have to be established with something like that. So starting off like this, I would rather keep it. It manages nice, and that's that.
Now, the last time we spoke, and I can cut this if you don't want to tell anybody about it, but you had said that you were thinking about making a place next door that was a bar but happened to sell pizza. Like a place people could go, but it's not
Yeah.
labeled a pizzeria. Are you still going to do that?
Yeah. It's gonna be a cool. I'm thinking 1970s themed dive bar,
Yeah.
really, really, really cool. With of course modern touches here and there, whatever. That just happens to sell really good pizza and
I
maybe
love it.
tacos.
Mhm.
And maybe
Sure.
tacos.
Yeah. It's a
So-
great,
so-
I mean, it honestly doesn't get better of a combination than that. I mean,
Right? I mean, you got your booze, you got all the stuff that you want,
Yeah.
Throw a good
Entertainment,
hot
DJ
dog on the
bars.
menu.
Throw a good hot dog. It's a good hot dog. This Brooklyn place makes really good hot dogs. So it's well, yeah, we're on Long Island. We're in the king of suburbia land, right?
yeah.
So when you say you're opening up a pizzeria over here, you're just gonna think pizzeria. Ah, well, it's just a fucking pizzeria. But when you open up a fucking bar
Mhm.
that ends up having really good pizza, as opposed to being known for a pizzeria that has a bar, I'd rather be a bar that serves good pizza. That's the twist. That's
Yeah.
the twist right there. So it's not gonna be a regular sit down pizzeria, stuff like that. It's gonna be a place where you come chill, drink, nice, fucking get a pie. That's the kind of place I'm looking for. Like I said, there's a
Right.
lot of there's a lot of money in those vodka bottles.
Hmm.
There's a lot of money
Definitely.
in those vodka bottles.
Yeah.
They sit there, they don't go bad. They sit there, as opposed to slices where you get a nice lunch rush, you get a nice hit. But then you got those gray areas all the way into dinner time where it's just constantly sitting there and you just got this whole area. That's why I think like that, because I remember my place, we do a busy lunch. Then, between lunch and dinner, there's really nothing going on. You got this huge counter space that's just,
Yeah.
it's not producing,
Yeah.
Now it will.
Oh, yeah. So there's a local pizzeria that started doing that, just that. I think he's up to like 5 or 6 pizzerias now that started doing, combination pizzeria and bar. But I think he does sell slices also. But I
Okay.
don't want to sell any slices. So it's a good combination. It is
I
what
think
it
it's-
is. Back in the day, there were a lot of clubs on Long Island. A lot of clubs, a lot of dance clubs, a lot of
Yeah.
dance clubs. Diners
Remember
were.
Spit?
I remember Spit. I remember all those
Yep.
places, man. I've been probably all those places, Uncle Sam, everywhere. I mean, I've been everywhere, man. And the diners were always packed at night, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, packed. Diners are going out of business on Long Island. A lot of them are closing
I
up.
hate it. It's so sad, dude.
It is sad. It is sad. And there's the nightlife, like how I knew it, it doesn't really exist.
No, that's gone.
But
Not
what
yeah.
the trend is, it's dinner and music, dinner and club, I guess, in one. That's the trend I see. So they want to go out, they want to have a good time, they want to dance, they want to hear music, but they also want to eat. So I on Long Island, forget about Manhattan, on Long Island, so they don't really have that many places. So that's why you have a lot of these huge steakhouses that have DJs on Thursday nights. They go to this place over here, they go to that place, but never in a club setting. Garrett, is there any more clubs on Long Island? I don't know. I don't think there's any more clubs.
No way.
Not really.
No, right?
Nothing like, not that you used to. You remember you used to get all those, there'd be like a guy handing out promotional freaking flyers. And
Brian
like,
G.
It would have his name on the back, and then you'd go to the club.
Oh, you know Brian?
Yeah, man, I know Brian.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He grew up in Amityville.
Yeah, I knew Brian a long
Brian
time,
Gordon.
dude. He got me, real quick, fun tangent was my 21st birthday cliche, and he hooked me up. Remember what was a Crazy Donkey at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I remember he gave me a bunch of, and then, no, it wasn't Crazy Donkey. I met him there, but then it was that other place. Oh, shit. Oh my God. What was it? It was over by Raymore and Flanagan's. Origin.
On 110.
Origin, or was it called like Siberia?
It was that too,
Siberia
but when I met him, it was Origins, and I remember he gave me a bunch of free drink tickets, and let me tell you, man, that night's a blur. I remember like kissing this girl, taking a picture with her, and then looking back in the morning and being like, "Holy shit, I met Enrique Iglesias." It wasn't a dude, but I mean, it was not great, and it was one of those pictures where you're like, "Holy shit!" But yeah, no, I know Brian. But the club scene. I remember that, as a bartender and all this stuff. I had said the same thing to many people. It's like that nightlife, unfortunately, is done. But here's the thing. I do think it goes in waves, and I'm sure at some point in the future it'll come back. When you look right. Like the 60s is kind of where it started picking up, 70s really picking up, 80s, and the 90s, the freestyle. But then 2000s, it just started piddling slowly and slowly. And I think I was probably one of the last generations to get to experience that club environment. But the diner experience makes me way more sad than the club experience, because how many people on Long Island and New York grew up and found themselves at a diner at night? Be like, "Oh man, I'm hungry. Where do you want to go? Let's go to a diner."
Yeah, you're right.
It's
they
such
had the smoking rooms in some of them.
The smoking rooms. That was fun because it was just like one chair that separated the sections.
Yeah. That's the smoking section on that side.
Be like, that's weird because I can really taste the smoke on my side.
It's wild.
It's definitely wafting.
With your pizza, as you mentioned, I mean, you have deep roots in pizza, but your pizza is definitely not your standard average slice shop pie. How do you balance being, staying true to the roots, but then clearly taking it to this elevated level?
Easy. That's what Italians do.
Nice.
It's always Italians always take something and they always try to make it better. That's just how it is. When they came here to America and immigrated on its shores, the food got a lot better. Eggplant parmesan, chicken parmesan, that parmesan, this parmesan. They took anything that was American and made it Italian. That's what we do.
Crafted from raw honey and fresh chilies, a balance of sweet and subtle warmth, aged with care to deepen every note, paired with cheeses and charcuterie. Glaze across golden fried chicken, drizzle over wood-fired pizza. A touch transforms everything. Holy hot honey, divinely sweet, sinfully spicy.
So that's my my thing. That's my gift to them.
Because you've elevated it, man.
It's all about.
Did.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Listen, there's a lot of great pizza men out there, and it's just taking chances and just going, just learning, man. And you know what? You know what I realized? When I was in the pizzeria business, literally, when I was a kid growing up in it for 18 years doing it, I was always behind the stick. I was always behind the counter. I just knew what I knew from who I taught me. That's all I knew, right? It took me to get away from the pizzeria to learn about the pizzeria, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
When I left the pizzeria to come to the steakhouse, I learned so much And then after that, just learning about fermentation, learning about dough, learning about different flours, learning about how bad bromate is, how this, that. I mean, just I learned so much that, you know, I was exposed to so much as opposed to being inside the pizzeria, just locked in there. This is how you make the dough, 3 hands of salt, this much. Nothing was written down. There was no recipe book. There was
Yep.
no scales, you know, just this, that, this. You know,
And
that was crazy.
I think that's probably one of the biggest differences between how things were done. And I still am very archaic with it. And I know when we spoke, you're like, Garrett, get a scale. And I know I've been saying this to my family. Like we scale out, you know,
Well,
we
the
don't
dough,
scale
right?
out like for the dough. Yeah, yeah. So like, but like when I was taught, it was exactly that. It was just, you know, fill up that cup 2 times, fill up, you know, that bucket with water to that line.
Yeah,
If it's a little bit cold out, make it a little bit warmer. And then I'd call the guy over and like, is this too warm? Is this too cold? And then he'd adjust it. And that was it. Now, like, because it's crazy how it's evolved. But I guess that's life. Everything's evolving, you know? We're
yeah.
we're talking on a podcast face to face, and Matt's in Sweden. It's crazy. It's evolution.
It is, man. It's pretty wild. You know, the warm water and the cold water you're talking about. I never knew about friction. You know,
Yeah, right?
of the machine. You know, you have to add 5 degrees for the friction. Time and temperature are 2 of the most important things in baking. Time and temperature, 2 of the most important things. If your temperature's off, your product's going to be off. It's
Mhm.
incredible. So
Yeah.
if you're supposed to just use the numbers, if you're supposed to take a dough out of the machine, it's supposed to be 70, but you take it out and it's 80, that product's going to be totally different. So you have to know what the temperature of the air is, the water, the bag of flour, and then whatever else you put in there, and then add 5 more degrees for the hook. And
I'm
then
just learning it right now.
And then and then at the final product, you stick the needle in there to see what the temperature is. If it's a temperature that you got, you're like, perfect. All right. So you write down all the temperature. You write the air temp, the flour temp, this temp, that temp, and you have all those temps. That temp will get you to this temperature. So I got a book of all the different temperatures now because I've been fucking up and I've been writing all my fuck ups down, you know? And you got to write down all the incidentals too. So if you're doing something and the next day or a couple days later, you make your pie and it came out great, you want to know every single step. So if you did 3 hours this, 3 hours, and then I left it alone and went to the bathroom for 10 minutes and then I came back and I had to go down the block and I was gone for 5 minutes, write down all the incidentals. Write down everything so like that you have all the times down. So like that you get that same product, at least you try to get that same product. And it's hard. And now this setup that I'm in, it's not like I have people constantly coming in and out. My biggest I guess customer base or fan base is really homes. So I don't really have too many businesses that I deliver to. So everything starts around now, 4:00, whatever, and that's my biggest clients, the houses. That's where I start fucking delivering. I actually forgot the point I was gonna make because I'm having so much fun.
Dude, it happens. You know what pizza of yours I really want to try is your white clam looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorites.
When I'm over in December, I'm gonna come by. I gotta try it. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
There's a pie that you made somebody yesterday, and they posted up. It was the Sicilian with the regatta and on top.
Oh right, yeah. We had we have the I did a collaboration with what do you call it? Collaboration with the local dispensary, Happy Days. And they want to do something for 420. They want to do a stoner pizza. I'm like, stoner pizza is like to me, when you're stoned, everything tastes delicious, right?
Yeah.
So I just made
Stone
something.
drunk, same.
You know, I made a Detroit pizza with chicken vodka sauce, with a cup of chopped pepperoni, with dollops of ricotta, with spicy hot oil on it. And then it was a do-it-yourself pizza where I would deliver to the parking lot of the dispensary. But once you're there, you were supposed to go inside and buy the the flour-infused hot honey. And that was the last ingredient to put on there. That was the whole collaboration.
Genius.
So yeah, we made a tremendous amount of deliveries over there, and people absolutely loved it. So we're supposed to be only that one-time thing, but it's not. It continued, and people just love it.
Awesome idea.
You had to. It was so good. People loved it so much that I had to make up own box for it.
I
Oh, the
know
Mary
it's
Jane. I've seen
great.
that. I didn't realize that that's what that was. I've seen that. That's
Yeah.
freaking amazing. That box is
Does
amazing.
Scott Wiener have one of those?
No, not yet.
He's got to. He's got to.
I don't know if I've always wanted to ask Scott if he gets down with the good stuff.
I could see
But I don't know.
Scott definitely does not get down with
I don't
weed.
think he does.
Not a chance to Scott, like with weed. There's not a chance, Scott. No
Yeah.
way.
No, it doesn't look
I don't
like
think
it.
so.
No
He doesn't
way,
think-
dude. I don't think
he does.
Scott's
That's
ever
fine.
touched it in his life.
I'm sure he doesn't have a problem with it, but I don't think he does.
Yeah,
I don't think
no.
so.
What was I gonna say? I've seen when we were with you, you said that you got invited up to New Haven to do the New Haven parade and such like that. And is that
Yeah.
where the clam pie came from?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know the history, but I know Italy with the Neapolitan pizza, they've been putting clams on their pizza since I've known as a kid.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. So you didn't get the idea from New.
Well, I've been to Pepe's a few times and I got their clam pizza. And I was
Okay.
like, this is fucking great. This is great. I want to do this. So basically, I guess I emulated from them. And that's how I came up. But I of course, everybody does their own little thing. I put little breadcrumbs on mine and whatever.
I mean, yours
And-
looks great to me.
I know they don't do a clams casino. I do a clams casino with the bacon and whatnot. And that right there is off the charts. That's
Dude,
off
it sounds off the charts, man. Dude, this podcast gets so hungry when we do these things, man. Dude, the conversations and the pictures I've seen of that pizza, it looks outrageous. Outrageous. I have to try it. What was I gonna ask? I was gonna say the underground theme has since been imitated by others. What do you think is the thing that they get wrong that you definitely get right? Is it the love? Because that's my guess.
I guess. Listen, I got into this not because of underground, not because I wanted to be famous. I got into it because I was hurting inside to do it. I was hurting inside. I needed to do it. I needed to fucking do it because my soul was telling me to do it. I can't explain the feeling. I really can't. Growing up in the pizzeria business, I thought I did everything I possibly could do with a piece of dough. But I didn't. That's why I was telling you, I left the stick. I left behind the counter to go learn. There's so much more involved with dough that I didn't realize. And that's that burning that sensation that I needed to do something, it all stemmed from that. So
Yeah.
like I said, the only way this could work if you have the product, if people like what you do. I don't think it's about the secrecy and everything. Yeah, that adds to the mystique. But if you don't have a product, or if you get the product and you went through all this bullshit to get the fucking pizza and you eat it, you're like, it's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
Yeah,
You know?
your pizza. What'd you have? You had one pizza, and we had and the two heroes that you're now known for too. Right? You had the broccoli rabe.
We had the roast pork with the broccoli rabe with the provolone fondue
Yeah,
and the cheesesteak. And I started making my own bread also, right?
I remember
Yeah,
you
the
showed
bread-
us.
yeah.
You showed us.
Yeah.
That bread operation is amazing.
Yeah, no, the bread's come out good. I R&D'd a little bit more on the bread.
Nice.
So I'll be changing the recipe. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a little bit better.
Oh,
It's gonna
damn.
be
Okay.
a little bit better. So next time you guys are around, I'll let you try it next time. So
Yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
like I said,
absolutely.
I'm over in December, and I definitely plan to come see you. Garrett, do you have anything else you wanted to ask Mike before we pop off?
Really, I guess besides from like how the dough is made, like now, and like the technique and everything, what's like, because being in the pizzeria industry for from the 70s and stuff, and you're 12 years old, and now you're in your 50s. I don't even know what's that, almost 40 years or so. What is like the major difference that you've seen in like the just because like I guess my question is when you guys were making pies at your dad's shop, it was mainly just like a cheese pie, and then there was some toppings, maybe a Sicilian pie, but there wasn't this like clams casino. You weren't making like
No, I was
chicken
part of,
vodka.
yeah, no, I was part of all that. What I mean by part of all that, I watched it evolve into where it is now. They used to, all the pizza. It just took one pizzeria to do something. Like they took that one pizzeria to make garlic knots. Garlic knots wasn't around. I didn't know what was
No.
garlic knots. It took that one pizzeria to make garlic knots. Like, oh, okay, so that's what I could do with the leftover dough.
Oh,
That's what I could do
shit.
with the leftover dough that I can't make a pizza without. I'll sell it as that. So I remember when the garlic knots first came out. I'm like, wow. I figured out and I started making it, and I was like, okay, that's how you do it. So I did it. Locally here, it took that one pizzeria locally here to come up with a white pizza. We got the pizza.
Mhm.
It was like a big deal. It was like a huge specialty. And from that point on, it was no holds bar. They started putting everything on a pizza. I remember making a vodka pizza. I remember making a vodka pizza back then. Back then, the vodka had vodka in it. It had peas in it, and it had prosciutto in it. All three things. And that pizza was fabulous. It was delicious. And well, actually, I made the sauce. I'm like, I got to put this on a pizza. It's got to taste good on a pizza, and it tasted great. Later on that summer or something, there was another pizzeria, and they entered, I think, the first pizza contest
All right.
from Pizza Today,
Okay.
and they entered the vodka pizza,
No shit.
and they came in first place. The pizza competition is a lot more now. It's a lot more involved.
Yeah.
It came a long way, right? So
Sure.
that was Goodfellas Pizza of Brooklyn. Now they run a school out in Staten Island, a pizza school out of Staten Island, Goodfellas Pizza School.
Sick.
Yeah, so I saw it from the beginning to the end, and I was all about it. I was so into it. My father didn't want me to do it. It's like, Mike, don't make all this stuff. If you make it, then the people are gonna expect it, and I have to fucking make it all the time.
He's
Did
gotta
you
pull
guys
out of
make
school more
Zeppelis?
often.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah,
No, I was
my
saying now he's got to pull you out of school more often to make those pies for everybody.
right, exactly. So that was my strategy. That was my strategy. Down at school more often. So yeah, we made Zeppelis. My father really enjoyed making Zeppelis. He made really good Zeppelis.
Because were they? I've heard some places, right? Aren't you? You're supposed to use a different dough than the pizza dough, right?
Yeah, we never used the pizza dough. My father made like it was half and half water, half flour, just a little bit of salt, yeast, and we used to just to smack it right inside the bain-marie. It was almost like a pre-ferment, Garrett. Like you make a pre-ferment.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of pre-ferment. So you smack it, and then you just let it rise. You let it rise in a thing, and now you have to really oil your hands or water your hands. Now you have to scoop it up
Yeah, so it doesn't get
out
stuck
of the
up.
thing, and don't stuck in your hand. And you drop it in the fryer, just like that.
Ah,
And my father had a
yeah.
way to put a hole in it. He used his thumb and he put a hole in it as it went into the oil. So ours had a hole in it,
His
Like
thumb must have
like
looked
a-
wicked, bro. I was kidding.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
because
so
the
a lot of people
Zeppelis
now,
made with
they-
pizza dough are shit.
yeah, a lot of people make with pizza dough. I don't get it. They
They're
actually
gross.
make the pizza dough and they let the pizza dough rise so you can't do it no more. And then they'll fry it. It's not the same. It's not the
No,
same.
It's the texture's way off.
Way off. But
Yeah,
you know what?
Because I brought my wife to try them, and the pizzeria we went to, I had never had them there before, but I was like, oh, I didn't. That's the first time I found out. Oh, not everybody's doing it right. And she's like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get the allure. I was like, no, because these were shit.
Right. But you know how it is? You know what it is, Matt? They'll take steps out of certain processes just to bang it out, just to make it quick, just
For
to get it out the door. They'll miss a few steps, right? Now,
Of course.
now the newer generation, that's what they're used to. They wouldn't even know about how good it was prior to that.
So true.
Look at all like Entenmann's. You guys like Entenmann's? I fucking
yeah,
used to love
dude.
Entenmann's.
Power up your pizza, boost your chicken, upgrade your charcuterie board. Fresh chilies and real honey combined for ultimate flavor mode. One taste and boom, you're in the sweet spot. Holy hot honey, divinely sweet, sinfully spicy.
Yeah, that's fucking
Entenmann's
awesome.
used to be
kidding me?
great. They were right here in
Yeah.
Bayshore. They were
Yes.
We were
great.
just
Great.
talking about the freaking Entenmann's.
God damn, that
and
factory
how it
was
used to be
great.
I
Great.
miss it.
And now,
Dude, you
and now
couldn't
what do
drive
call it?
down that road without just rolling down your window.
All the
Anytime I
baked
drove
goods.
past there, I would beg my mom to stop.
Listen, all the baked goods they made, everything. You got Sumark, wherever you went. It was real. It was
Yeah.
delicious. Now they sold it to Bimbo. They're in Mexico. Get their product now. It's nowhere
Not-
near.
Nah.
Nowhere near. I refuse to buy it. It's nowhere
Yeah.
near. There's all kinds of nasty stuff in it. It don't even taste the same anymore.
No,
You think,
dude.
You think the new people that are buying it knows what it used to taste like? They have no fucking idea,
It's
man.
so true, man. That goes for a lot of right? Like what a new Coke, right? When Coke changed its recipe, and you talk to other people who are like, "Dude, this is not what Coke used to taste like. It used to taste."
Right.
But Entenmann's though, man. I mean, Entenmann's, what a staple. If you're from Long Island, talk about a freaking staple. You know, when I was a kid, they discontinued my favorite product from them, which was, I don't know if either one of you remember it. Almost nobody does. The French cheesecake they had. I would house an entire French cheesecake like it was nobody's business. And then they just stopped. It had like the shredded coconut on top. God damn, I'm telling you, I'm getting so hungry, bro. Entenmann's.
They're all good. Pound cake was great.
Fuck yeah, the marble pound cake, the pop-ums,
Yeah.
the powdered, dude, Jesus Christmas. Thank God we don't have Entenmann's here. Otherwise, I'd have been out the door after this was done. But, dude, again, when I'm over in this...
one more.
Well, go ahead. Sorry,
I have one more question. Sorry, it might get I'm not a little bit too personal. So I know that's an odd way to fucking start it.
It
all
is.
Right,
It really
you
is.
creepy asshole. This guy, Matt's a creep. He instantly went to something creepy, which I'm not being creepy. All right, it's not that type of podcast, unless you want to make it that way.
You're about to.
No, so all right. My father also passed away, and I used to, love coming home with, a pie for him, and we'd sit and we'd hang out, talk about the day, whatever, just whatever, we'd hang out. So if you could make your father one pie out of your new menu and sit and hang out and talk to him, what would be the pie? And not just like the traditional cheese pie, because like that's just, I don't want to take that one if that's what you were gonna pick, but like.
A beautiful
that's not a
question,
good
though,
answer.
Otherwise, honestly.
Then your second pie. If that's your first one. Yeah. So like what's for you?
Well,
what would be?
Well, my father, he's like me, or I'm like him. We like ours original, plain pie, well done, thin, light cheese, whatever. So we're both on the same wavelength like that. But with that said, my father's family and my father back in Italy, they were fishermen. My father's all about fish. He loves fish. He loves fishing. So the clam pizza is the second pizza I would give him. He would absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Especially the casino one. He would absolutely love it. That's what I would treat him to. I never made it across the street. I never made it at the original Mike's. I don't know why. I just never thought about it,
Yeah.
But it is, yeah. So that's what I would give him.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So. Because with my dad, we were always very simple too. It was just usually like a cheese pie with peppers and onions and extra cheese. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, that's
the pie.
Yeah.
When's
sorry,
that's all right, man. It's hard losing a pop, bro. When'd your pop pass?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's still fresh. I'm sorry, man. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
But yeah, sorry. I got a little teary when you were talking about it earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, no. My old man should be here right now, man. He should fucking be here. He doesn't see any of his fucking granddaughters.
I'm about to have my first kid in December.
Congratulations, man.
So I'm bummed that you didn't get to see him. But
yeah.
Sorry, we turned this really really weird to me, Matt.
No.
Yeah. I miss him dearly. And I wish you could be here to see what I accomplished. Like I said, the reason why I accomplished so much is because I'm still waiting for that fucking pat on the back. It is what it is.
He's patting you on the back, dude. You gotta.
He's 100% proud of you because what you built over there and what you've established and how you've carried yourself and stuff. There's no way he's not proud of you. There's no way.
No, I know.
It's still Mike's. It's still Mike's, man. From one to the other.
I brought it back. I brought it back for him. I brought it back for him.
Yeah, dude.
So,
it couldn't be a better journey. I mean, from the first story you told during this podcast to now, it shows you. I mean, that was the constant. Him, for sure.
Oh, guys, listen, I appreciate you guys. I got 4% left. I'm trying to look for a freaking plug. I can't even.
Doubt, bro. I'm gonna put the wrapping speech on this, and then we'll stay in touch, though, brother. It's always a pleasure talking to you. That is a wrap for this episode of the Holy Hot Honey Hour. Big thanks to Mike Esposito for bringing the flavor and the fire. If you liked what you heard, follow it, rate it, like it, share it with someone who knows their way around a good pie. I'm Matthew Zeiss with Garrett Klein, and until next time, stay hungry, stay humble, and never go too long without a slice.